Okay, so Chris,
Yes.
QTI. Okay, I'm recording now, and you're okay with me recording this? We're going over
Yep.
this. Okay, so let's just
All
get
good.
a quick background.
Okay.
You So you reached out and
Yeah. So
just go
I,
ahead.
been playing the game for a little bit, right?
Hmm.
Obviously focused on armaments and making my account better, and um, continue to continuously kind of look around for input from others because part of getting better is learning and realizing you don't know everything. And ran across your account and your YouTube and saw your approach to thinking about this. And so, I reached out to you because I liked the way you kind of presented it and how you thought about it, and the mathematical kind of background around making improvements versus blind luck gambling, which is kind of the armament system. So that was the reason for me reaching out was, hey, I like what this guy's doing. I like his approach, and let's talk. I'd love him to look at my account and give me his input.
Okay, cool. And then, well, first of all, thank you. Also, about what would you consider your spend level, or about how much do you think you spend a month?
I refuse to look at that. I think you'd probably classify me as a whale, or maybe
Okay.
even higher, depending upon your how you think about that. But
Okay. So
I don't
you
really.
okay, but you can run like 7 marches in
Mhm.
a in like in a like before Kinsland opens, you can run 7 marches based on your spend.
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
yeah.
All right,
Check's
so
done before the second pass opens.
okay, so let's actually open up your the PDF I sent you earlier with armaments, if you can.
Okay, I've got that. Do you want me to share that?
Yeah, yeah,
Or
yeah. Let's just open that up. So we'll kind of look at everything at once.
so how do I share? How do I change what I'm sharing?
It
Let me
should be
stop and move.
yeah, it should be a screen share, or you could stop it and start it again. But it
Yeah.
should be a screen share. So
All right, let me move this over and see if you see it.
okay.
Do you see it now?
Uh,
I have two computer screens, so I may be sharing.
okay, okay. Let me let me actually screen share mine for the time being.
Okay.
Then, so we'll pull that up.
All right, so I will stop then, I guess.
Yeah, you can stop it.
All right, here I can share it this
You
way.
can.
So let me do
Okay.
that. Blah, 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 here. Yep.
Okay. Cool. Okay. So your equipment and your armaments are both already at a really high place, right? Now the I think the one you have the biggest challenge with is the Cav 1. So you have a
Hmm.
lot of inscriptions, but then there's like three irrelevant stats.
Yep.
And I think it's getting to a point where the decision making is whether you should stick with the armament you have, or if you should actually start working on a new armament to replace the one you have existing.
Yep. No, that's kind of my biggest struggle, right? Is
Okay.
what do I do with this mess that is Calvary?
Okay. And then before we kind of get into it, what do you think is a challenge as far as making that decision for you? Because if there's like some kind of block there, if we can just identify it, then when you run into something similar in the future, it won't be a block anymore.
Yeah, no, I mean, and look, if we look at the armaments I'm not using, you'll see that I've got some good inscription armaments that
Mm-hmm.
I've rolled till I can't roll them anymore,
Yeah.
and I just can't get lucky. I just can't get it to hit, right?
Yeah.
So, and now, there's the ones that I'm using now. There's the ones that I'm not using,
Mm-hmm.
and like these new chances or new options to reroll
Yeah.
aren't frequent, right? And it's very expensive to play around with the
Yeah.
transmutation system. So it's really just kind of like an independent view of like, if this was your account in your situation, like what
Sure.
would you think about doing?
Okay.
Obviously I'll take all of that in and
Okay.
you know and evaluate that and make a call on my own. But
Yeah, of
it's
course.
just like I've kind of been like, you know, I, I, you kind of get to paralysis around like where should I take this, right? And that's kind of the point on the cavalry, especially where
Yeah.
I've been struggling. And then the other thing I wanted to talk to you a little bit about is, obviously I do rallies, I do garrisons with this
Yeah.
account. Is there some other kind of combination of the things that I have that how do I think about that relative to the specific roles
Okay.
and where to focus if that
Okay, cool.
makes sense.
Okay, so in this game, in general, there's like, I guess there's two big principles. Right? There's a bunch, right? Well, I'll talk about two. So first, there's going to be a minimum threshold for something to be viable, right? So when you talk about commanders, sometimes it's whether 5511 is usable or expertise, right? There's a minimum viable threshold where if you're below that, just don't use it, or else it's not worth it. The second one is whenever you have, let's just say, many marchers or many armaments, a little bit less so for armaments. I'll explain why. But you actually, the biggest opportunity for growth is whatever is the weakest, right? So as something gets to a higher level, the gain you'll get from that will be a lot lower. And if you're just looking for value, right, like improvement per material spent, whatever is weakest, like you actually want to direct your resources there. Now, for whales and then for like mid spenders and lowers, it's a little bit different because with whales, you're going to accumulate resources or whatever at a way more than fast enough rate where you can actually work on all 6, 7 marches or whatever it is at once. Whereas for someone that's a lower spend, even if you have 5 marches or 6 marches, right? So I have 6 marches. I'm a mid spender. It actually would help me out more if I focus on making my first cav, my first inf, and my first archer set as good as possible because I could run out of resources faster, right? Like I drop down to 3 marches. Like you want your top 3 to always be like way better. So for you, if you're a whale, that's going to change it compared to say if you're a mid spender as far as like how you want to like go about this. Okay. Now, if we're looking at what's on screen here, clearly, the first calf set is where like you have the biggest opportunity for growth, and inscriptions are good because for the most part, unless you get a really bad inscription, the inscription is going to equal to like the best stat you could get out of a base stat, right? So if you get like an inscription that's 3.5 attack, you're like, oh, that's kind of mid, right? But if you got 3.5 attack on the base stat, you'll be ecstatic. So inscriptions, even though the Cav 1 looks kind of messy, if you have 6 inscriptions on there, right? And Hunter's obviously really good. Boiling Blood, I think that's what it is. Like that's a rare one. That one I actually don't like as much as some of the other rare ones, but it's still rare. It's still really good. I like Embattled. I'm not sure what Striker is. Metallics, is that actually from an Epic?
Yeah,
well,
no.
okay.
That's I think that's defense
Okay.
or additional skill
Yeah,
damage.
yeah.
Which
Metallics is
gets
defense,
like
but is that a defense from an epic or is that a defense from a legendary? Well, I guess we'll take a look.
that's a legendary
Okay,
because
cool.
the only epic I think I have on my
Okay,
is on my tab 2. I have an epic.
okay. So for you, we'll take a look at it, but I'm kind of over explaining a little bit because when it's on video like this, I want the people watching. Maybe they're not
No,
quite in your
I'm with you.
situation to still get it. Okay, but we'll take a look at it. But in general, what I like for people to do is one, clean up their inventory first, because part of that paralysis by analysis is there's just too many things going on. All right, so let's just say you have 3 individual armaments for say like instrument that are all kind of in the same range and they're all really good. Emotionally, we don't want to get rid of something that's really good, but if they're all in the same range, just pick one that you think is the best and get rid of the other 2, especially with transmutation crystals now. I don't think we've officially seen how many, But if I had to guess, it's going to be more than one that you could get in KVK. It's probably going to be less than five. If I had to guess, it's somewhere between 1 and 5, probably like 3, right? And once you can use up the turns and then reset that roll again, the incentive to keep around a bunch of armaments that are in the same range goes down a lot more. If that makes sense.
Yep, no, that
Okay.
makes sense. And I've been pretty ruthless in cleaning up.
Okay,
So
good. So you already okay. So that actually takes the longest. So let's actually go in game now. We'll take a look at your armaments.
you there?
Yeah,
All right, sorry, it broke up a little bit. Let me stop streaming and start.
sure.
All right, how do you want to see it? You want to see it on the commanders? On the set?
Yeah. Let's open it up on the commanders first. We'll go to just gonna. I assume your best cav set is on Nevsky.
Yep.
Okay, so let's actually open that up. Okay, and then let's go to the individual ones.
Like cavalry?
No, just everything. I'll just kind of walk you through this part. Okay, so let's go over the. So you're already on the scroll. You can unclick cavalry.
All right.
Okay, and then let's go over the instrument.
Sorry.
Okay.
Kuang?
Wow. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Wow, you got a double and one's rare.
Yeah, I was looking, I needed to, I
Yeah.
had like, I had like 1,700 armaments about a month ago.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is asinine. And,
Yeah.
and then, I was close to being able to unlock the wedge and special inscription in the armor, in the courier shop.
Mm-hmm.
So I just went through and ruthlessly cleaned.
Yeah. Okay.
And to be honest with you, at this point, I don't really have a use for blue, so I just delete those.
Yeah.
Look at them.
Yeah, I wouldn't even look at them.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I don't have a lot, right?
Okay.
I basically have. So I kind of ruthlessly purged. I then created like 3 sets of each.
Mm-hmm.
3 sets of infantry, 3 sets of cavalry, archers, and if it didn't make it to the 3rd set, unless it's kind of got,
potential.
a really high stat
Yeah.
or a double inscription,
Yeah.
or at least how I thought about what potentially could be something I might want to play with in the future, I just got rid of it.
Yeah. Okay, good. Perfect. Okay, and then let's go to your wedge for infantry. So just go to the infantry commander now.
Yeah, you want Kuang. Okay. What do you want to see it this way?
Yeah. I just want to see what's actually on them individually, because once I at least get a sense of what's on each commander individually, then when we're looking through the armaments, it'll help. Okay, so that's actually okay. So this one right here, right? One, it's crazy that you're getting that much stats with no inscription at all. But the scroll you'll be able to inscribe on there, so that those stats are actually I would say it's what's a step above average. It's not like the best of the best, but that's really good. Let me look at the instruments again. Okay, that's really good.
And then this one's
emblem and banner is typically going to be the worst.
Yeah, this one's really good.
Oh yeah, that's disgusting.
I mean, in this one, I thought about the hunter that I put on the cavalry set.
Yeah.
I thought about putting it here.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, infantry's kind of going arch through smite.
Yeah.
And do I really want to put, if I use a hunter scroll, if I use the hunter inscription on this armament, which is a good armament, and what am I really doing? And so I kind of I passed on putting it on infantry for now.
Yeah, and I think
it's been a good call, but
when you get the special inscription from getting 8 shards, that's on a banner too, I think, right? And that's actually
on, that one is so that came from here.
Yeah, you put it on the archer.
That is not this one, but this one. Okay, cool. And then let me I think it's Foul. Yeah.
Yeah, let me take a look at your arch now
My arch.
for
Okay.
infantry.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, and then I mean, you already showed the ZL, but let's go back to ZL. Let's take a look at that. That's your best set.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
that when I pulled the special inscription by luck,
Yeah.
I decided to focus there.
You
So
got unstoppable. Yeah, that's a really good one. Let's see.
yeah, I got the hunter, which
Hmm.
I bought the Altark.
Yeah.
Uh, I got the unstoppable, I think, through a random draw.
Yeah. Just click on that real quick, just so we could see it. I think it's like damage, and you could trigger more damage, right? Here we go. Yeah, skill
Yeah,
damage. Yeah, it's really good. Okay. Um.
and then I've got this is the one I think I bought through the KDK
Yeah.
shop.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good
So
one to
for
put it
that,
on. Yeah. And then let me take a look at the emblem again.
this is the emblem. Yeah,
Okay. And
I
then
put those.
okay. So let's actually go back to Nevsky.
Okay,
Okay, yeah, and let's open that up. Let's start with scroll.
that's this one, right?
Yeah. Okay, so you already have 100 on there, right? You have one
Yeah,
more chance at a roll. Um,
yeah. I've rolled this thing 9 times trying to get rid of archery
yeah, I
units.
got it. It's annoying.
It's just
It's like a
luck.
17% chance.
Yeah,
Um, so in 10
nine,
rolls,
nine.
what's up?
Yeah, 9 rolls,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
9 rolls so far, 17% chance.
yeah.
It,
You can
it hasn't.
actually let's see. Let's see. Uh, when I'm pulling up this calculator, we could actually do some of this math. Percent chance. Okay, probability. Okay, so if you had 9 times a current at least one, 70% chance. Uh, why is this not?
I would have thought there would have been at least a 70% chance or so that I would have gotten something
Oh, it's over
relatively close.
70% because 10% chance at 10 turns is 65%.
Okay.
so so I don't know. Wait, why is this calculator not running? All right, maybe not. I should have had this up before. Yeah, but regardless, it's just unlucky. All right, but you're not doing anything wrong there. Okay, let's go to your instruments. Yeah, it's like that, and let me see. Do you have any other doubles, or is that you have another double that's locked down there? Okay, and you already spun that 10 times.
Yep.
Let's go down
And I've
to
got these bad, so it's not
yeah,
bad,
yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah. Go down to the one that's two below Guan.
That's going to be
Okay,
this one, you
what's
mean?
uplifting again? Okay, and then patronage. Uplifting
Is a
is
shield type of thing,
yeah,
right? Or healing or shield, which
yeah,
kind of doesn't, I don't,
yeah, yeah.
I
That
mean, I kind of thought about maybe this one goes on Huo rather than the one that's on Huo when we get to
yeah,
that because
yeah,
Huo's got the heal,
yeah, for
but
sure.
but it didn't really fit within Nevsky.
Yeah.
It
That one's a
like
double, but those two aren't that great. All right, let's go a little bit lower. Is there you have anything else? Let me see. Okay, then let me see the
no,
ones that are you just locked down there. Let me just see. Let's just actually kind of go through. Let me see what you've locked. So
all right.
you can start from the bottom. Okay.
That's a triple stat.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
okay, right? I just didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
one's
So
like
like
a
so
double.
like between those two, go to the triple stat again.
This one.
Yeah, I would actually just unlock the other one. That's double. It's a little higher, but it's like when I talked about earlier. I mean, you experience this, right? If you have two stats and you're trying to get the third one, you could go 10 rolls to still not get it. You would actually start with the triple stat and go from there. Okay, go to
Yeah.
the one next to Trajan now. Okay, go to the Trajan.
This is my third infantry set.
Okay, yeah. And I would actually run that one over the triple stat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, go to the Leo.
Infantry set.
The fourth infantry set. Let me see. Well, third wedge, right? Third wedge.
Yeah, third wedge.
Um, okay, so if you look right, you have Leo, you have the one on Trajan, and you have the triple stat.
Yeah.
So, so yeah, this is like what I was talking about earlier. It hurts, and just to like make it easier, there's just going to be one that you're not going to use and work on, right? Because even if you get
Yeah.
an inscription for this, which I don't think there's a way to do it right now, you'll just pick one to put an inscription on, and then like it,
Yeah.
right? So like, which one, if it was you, which one would you actually get rid of?
Let's see. So this is really hard.
Yeah,
It's not this one. So it's all right. So I mean, the attack's okay. The defense
yeah,
is good. That sucks. Health is great.
yeah,
Defense is good. So I think I like Trajan better than Leo,
yeah,
right? If I got three sets,
yeah,
uh, I think I've got more upside with less cost if I keep the one on Leo, to be honest. Or no, the
yeah,
one here, right? No, wait. This one's got 2-5 and
yeah,
3-1 and 9.
yeah,
This one's got
yeah,
this one right here on the screen, they're all kind of like okay,
yeah,
but not great, right? One of these at least I wouldn't need to worry about.
yeah. So
And so I think I would try, and if I were to re-roll this, I would re-roll health alone,
yeah.
but that would just be my thought.
Yeah, so the reason why I asked you is because it's actually not clear, right? Those are very, very close. So
Yeah.
that one, honestly, just pick one you like, the one that you rather keep, and just get rid of the other one. I would actually probably, if it was me, I would keep the one with Leo. Um,
Yep.
Now, the by nature, I'm more aggressive. Okay, so I actually like stuff where okay, you go for it, but also you have a risk of failing. And some people will prefer the lower one, but in general, the biggest takeaway I would say from this, like even like that what we just did right there, just make a decision. Okay, because if you make a
Yep.
decision, you're winning. Like the when you lose on something like this is when you're just like, oh well, now I'll just revisit it later. You just kind of let it pile up, right? Just make a decision, just live with it, and then just go on. Okay, let's go to the one next to Leo.
One next to Leo.
Okay, yeah.
This one I kept solely because of
Oh no,
Bowling
definitely.
Blood.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah. Definitely keep that. Go to
Obviously
Ramses.
got nothing, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So this is my third archer set.
people wait. People are hating you. Okay, that's your third. Okay, let's go to the second then.
This is the second,
Okay. Okay.
and
Um.
obviously
Yeah.
re-rolls, right?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
got a
Yeah.
triple.
No,
I
that's
would,
good enough. That's something where if you're re-rolling that, your armaments are. You probably shouldn't even be spending any on armaments by the time you're re-rolling that. Okay, let's go to the double we already looked at. Let's go to the one next to it. Oh, yeah, another one.
again,
Jesus. Okay,
uh,
like three of these. One is a double. Okay. Okay. Cool. Let's
all
go
right,
up.
another Bowling Blood.
Okay. Wow, you have four.
Yeah, I have
Okay.
more. So,
Wow. Okay. And then go to this new one. Then I guess.
um, it was a double stat with a good defense.
Yeah, I would just. So
I
I would get rid of that one.
all right.
And honestly, the one that's lower go all the way down now. I've just seen like your third
Which
one
one?
on Ramsey. So the one right next to Trajan, I think. Yeah, you don't need to lock that.
Okay.
Yeah, and then in general, like even if you wanted to be extra careful, you don't need more than three of any armament type, right? Because you're not going to run. You can only have 7 marches. So even if you
Yeah,
have
yeah,
like 222 and the third one, you don't know if it's gonna be archer, cav, or infantry. Fine, you have 9, but you don't need a
yeah,
fourth set. Yeah. Okay.
yeah. No, I'm
Um.
with you.
Okay.
This one, why did I keep this?
Well, it's probably good at
I
the
don't.
time. Yeah, I'll get rid of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's outdated
Get
now.
rid of-
Okay. Okay. And then
Did we look at this one? Yeah, that was the.
yeah, I already
Okay,
looked
we
at
looked
that,
at
and you
that.
already spun both of those. Go back to the one on Nevsky again.
Well, Nevsky.
Okay. And then the one on Huo. Okay. 2.53, 2.5. Go back to the double inscription one next to William. Well, actually, what's on William, by the way? Can I see what's on William? Let's see. Okay.
See it?
You have really good armaments in general. Okay, let's go back to the one on the to the right. Yeah, that one. Okay, that's
Okay. And I like the upside on this one,
yeah,
but patronage is kind of
yeah,
wasted on
yeah,
Nevsky.
yeah.
So
So
that was why. Yeah. I was thinking maybe this one replaces the Huo.
I
We're
think
good with
it.
that.
Yeah, so I think it should actually replace what's on Huel right now.
Okay.
The health is about the same, right? Go to the one on the right again. No, it's actually less health. So the whole
Yeah.
one has less health. Obviously, there's no defense, but then you have
Yeah.
double inscriptions and like 2.5% skill damage, right? And then like another 2% damage whenever you heal. I would take that over that right now. The upside's higher, and it's just straight up better right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, so let's actually just put that on hold right now.
All right. So let me go.
And then you could save it into your new set or whatever.
Yeah.
Actually, wait, give me like 15 seconds. I'm gonna get a cup for my tea. I'll be right back while you do that. Okay. Okay, I'm back. By the way.
Yeah. And this was the other decision I had, but
What was the other one? Let me see.
unlike Huo, it's like I have this one right here.
Yeah.
I'm not using. I could do that, but this is defense, right?
Yeah.
So
The
I
I
could.
mean the epic one's better, right? But where
Yeah. There's this one though. Damage, defense, right?
yeah. So here, let me ask you, if you're comparing those two, what's the thought process?
I think probably this one's better,
Yeah.
but it's only point 0.2 difference on
Yeah.
defense. It's thing attack.
Yeah.
I mean, the reason I didn't do it is because I run the dynastic conqueror, which
Yeah.
lowers the cavalry attack to begin with.
Yeah.
So I've been seeking cavalry attack, but I can
Yeah.
understand why this is better.
Yeah. So thought process for this. You heard of Dave Ramsey, right?
Sorry, say that again.
You've heard of Dave Ramsey, right?
Maybe.
Okay, so
Not,
well, I have to caveat this because I'm not necessarily advocating what he teaches, but
yeah,
he's like a financial guy. Maybe he was bigger about 15 years ago or so, maybe even longer. But his whole thing is helping people get out of debt, and one
yeah,
of his like most famous things that he teaches is called the debt snowball. Right. So the idea is, okay, if you have, let's just say 5 credit cards that you've run up, you want to actually pick the lowest credit card first, pay that off, and get momentum paying off credit cards. And then once you get the lowest credit card, now you have 4 left, right? And then you go to the next one and the next one. Mathematically,
yeah,
that doesn't make sense, right? Because the credit card that has the highest interest rate is actually the one you want to pay off first, right?
yeah,
And then especially when you rack that up higher. But what he's teaching is almost like stacking a psychological win to get momentum. And then when you have that, even if mathematically it's not the best, when you feel like you're winning the momentum, that actually makes a bigger impact than just doing mathematically the right thing. Okay. And even diet, we have something similar, right? Like everyone has whatever their perfect diet is, but like a really good program will allow people to kind of have a cheat day or some grace. Because if you have to do the perfect diet to win every time, anytime you don't do it, you feel like you're losing. That actually doesn't set you off for success. Okay.
Yeah.
So the reason why I'm telling you that is because statistically, the one on the right, the Epics Olympia, well, no, they're both epics. The legendary one is better. But having like triple stats or like having less irrelevant stats, when you look at it, if it feels better, even if like mathematically it doesn't make that big of a difference, which one actually feels better to you? Because if you know one is slightly better, and
I mean, I guess I went with the Epic
okay,
because I was frustrated with the triple stat and not being able to re-roll it.
yeah, exactly,
I think conceptually the Legendary is better,
yes.
so we should go with the Legendary.
The legendary is better if you're okay with it not being clean, but you know that you're actually getting more value out of it. Yes.
All right. Yep. All right. Well, let's do it.
Okay. And then
What are we looking at now?
let's go back to
Sorry.
Nevsky. Yeah, so we're starting on Nevsky.
That's crapping out for some reason.
Yeah, that's
Go
fine.
back to what?
Go to Nevsky,
Nevsky. Okay. Which one?
and then where do we stop on? Yeah, instrument. Let me just go back to instrument again. Let me see.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of frozen. Oh, here we go. Okay.
Yeah, so that's my best stat mix, overall stat mix, right? But
Right.
I think better.
Yeah, the double inscription's better. I actually like embattled a lot too. And then boiling blood is a rare.
No.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Go to the emblem. And then do you have any transmutation stones right now?
Like 3 right now.
Okay.
So
Okay. So you don't have much left. Okay.
okay.
Okay. And then
Yeah, I was continuing the hunter.
yeah, yeah. Okay. So this one you have a double two.
No.
This is actually pretty. Did you were they like something else that you try to get to be a cav, or was it like a double cav and you're just locking it and you've just been very unlucky?
Hold on. I was locking defense
Hmm.
and trying to roll relevant stats. I didn't really want march speed. I mean, I took it obviously, right?
Yeah, yeah,
But march for cavalry seems like a bit of a waste.
yeah. Uh,
So, just no luck, right?
that's just bad luck. Okay, let's see. Um,
I mean, the
17.
options here would be none of which kind of like override that, right? So I've only kept
Yeah.
3
Which, by the way,
these.
if you had two stats and for scroll and instrument, I can't remember off the top. I want to say it's around 17%. If you roll
What?
9 times, the chances of getting it at least one in 9 tries is 81%.
Yeah.
If you roll 10
The,
times, it's 84.48%.
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you know,
The, yeah, it just happens,
you
right?
usually take
So
those down fast. Yeah. Okay.
I've got good defense, so I can't really complain.
No,
But
they're
I would,
actually they're really good. It's just like it's annoying because at least the other ones are like one stat off, right? But then with the cav, you have 6 inscriptions, which is really good, and then you have 3 irrelevant stats.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but it's actually
I counted as 4 because I don't count the march speed as that relevant,
yeah,
But
yeah. No, I get it. I mean, 5% on top of like 5.5% on top of calves. It still just makes you a lot faster. It's not nothing.
yeah, no, it's
Yeah,
good ultra, right? I chase people down.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Okay.
So
So
the
in general, for you, uh, So the hunter one is already at 0, right?
I know it's got one left.
Okay. So yeah, so roll that out, and hopefully you get lucky. If not, right, it like it's literally just percentage. So if you, at least if I tell you, hey, like if you have 17% chance, right, and let's just actually 17% chance, and then you get 10 tries. That's, you get about 84% to do it.
Yeah.
So you should be able to get more than one transmutation crystal. This next KVK. Oh wait, what did I just do?
Yeah.
Oh no, what did I
Yeah,
just
no,
do?
and
Yeah.
given that this is a special inscription, I'll continue to roll it,
Yeah, you
right?
have to, right?
Yeah.
And then uh, and it's really the choice is yours, but it's special inscription and then double inscription, because those are the ones where it's by far the hardest to get.
Mhm.
For scroll, the chances of you getting a special inscription, if you're just getting it out of a crate, is like 1 in like 1250, something around there. Right. So the
Yeah.
chances are very, very low. And then if it's a emblem or a banner, it's actually 1 in like 2,500. And then you're about 10 times more likely to get it when it's a double inscription. So it's like 1 in 1250, or 1 in 125, or like 1 in 250, right? Which is still really, really rare or really hard to
Right.
get. But if you have a double, and the double is like they're both decent, that should be your priority. Okay.
Yeah.
So for this one, let's actually so you have a hunter, and then let's go to the instrument again. Okay, so you have 5 there, right? So you roll that out. Hopefully you just get it. This one, because of where your armaments are at, and because of this armament, I would actually just lock health. And then if you get a better defense, great. If it's worse, and obviously don't keep it. And then if you get lucky and you get a double, then that's done. But like this one, for the second one, I wouldn't actually take anything less than probably, like, for you, probably like 2.2. You know, if it's around there, if it's like, you know what, fuck it, I'll just take it, fine. But like you can actually just lock the health, and then you could get a higher defense. You could get like a really good attack, right? But I actually wouldn't lock this, just because you can be aggressive with this, because you already
Okay.
have a stat there. Okay.
And what
And
about this? Would you use this one, or I guess patronage we said was not relevant, so it's really this one. Yeah, I'm with you.
yeah, that's a highest upside one. Boiling, is it boiling blood? I keep calling it boiling blood. Yeah, boiling
Yeah.
blood and embattled. That's like, embattled is actually one of my just favorite ones in general, because like you're not taking skill damage once every cycle, right? You could actually take like 3 hits of skill damage in like 3 turns, or
Yeah.
3 hits of skill damage in 1 turn from like different people. So it actually triggers a rage pretty quick. Okay, let me go to the emblem again, and then banner.
This is the emblem. Which one? The circle is the emblem? I get them confused.
Bottom right is a banner, and then bottom left is emblem. Okay,
Okay, this is
so that
emblem
one
then.
you already have triple. I wouldn't touch that.
Okay. Yep. And I can't anyway. It's
Yeah,
been
yeah, yeah. And then this one, what's
is,
striker again? Ooh, okay. So this one's actually really good too.
yeah. I just need another crystal, right?
Yeah. So right now you have 1 left on the top left, 5 left on the top right, and then this one's out on the bottom right.
Yeah.
If you had to like put priority for the crystals, it would be, actually, I would actually prioritize re-rolling this one on the bottom right over the hunter one, just
Okay.
because, like, yes, you have 3.2% of march speed. This
Yeah.
one, it's your call. Like, like, this is me personally. I'm not saying it's right. Personally, when it's 3.2% march speed, even though it's on cap, I would probably just keep it.
Okay.
Right. But if you wanted to not lock that and just lock the cap defense and then go for attack and health, like, that's not like, I don't even think that's a wrong call either. You know, it's kind of like what you prefer.
Yeah. I guess the question here, right?
Yeah.
Like, what would be my I had another thought here is do I just completely like triple stat roll it, right? And see if I come up with a different place to put it?
Like a different troop type.
Yeah.
Oh, here,
I mean,
click.
just go and like unlock everything, right? Because the cavalry,
Uh, click
I
on
mean, I don't
the
know if I have it
yeah.
up in my options.
Yeah, let me take a look
But
at your the one on ZL and Guan first again. Yeah, so
see
no.
right
Okay,
here.
that's really good. You're not gonna replace that. Let's go to the Guan.
One.
Bottom right.
Oh, sorry. Not going to replace that, right?
See, like that one. That one, I would. I mean, you just like you take a risk. You just put if you get another balance, put it on there. That's so
Yeah.
good, right?
Yeah.
And now where I do think infantry is going is probably smite. If I had to take a guess, okay, this is just me guessing, just complete bullshitting. Inherently, Cavs have an advantage just because they're so much faster, right? And the way they kind of wanted to be set up is Cavs counter Archer, Archer counters infantry, and the infantry counter Cavs. The way for infantry to counter Cavs is smite damage because if you look in the Cavs skill tree on the top right, I think it's called Emblazoned Shield. What it's called. Like they have a built-in
Skill damage
skill
reduction.
damage reduction. It's significant, right? It's actually on par with like the support tree. At least I can't remember any of the names off the top, but you know what I'm talking about, right? So
Yeah.
so smite damage is better than skill damage because smite damage when you have normal damage boost, right? So your white attack is going to go up, but then also that same boost essentially acts like a skill damage boost. Whereas skill damage, it only gets boosted by skill damage boost. So like your white
Yeah.
damage is going to change. So like it's a very unique and cool thing that Lilith doesn't actually have a lot of or barely any smite damage mitigation right now. Right, so I think
Mm-hmm.
like it would make sense that that is specific to say the slowest troop type. Okay, fine, they put it on siege, but right now no one's really using ranged commanders, right?
Yep.
And then I think with archers, you're seeing a pattern. You can get circular AOE, and then you could run command essentially marches with like double 5 target AOEs. And I think with calves, to make it balance, what they would do is probably you're going to see more like good commanders, but single target commanders
Yep.
mixed in with like so like with a cav you'll probably have to run like a single and a double, whereas
Yep.
for infantry you could do single with a single and an AOE, where like infantry you'll get smite damage, and then with calves you're gonna get big skill damage with like two AOE 5 target commanders, or like at least 3 targets. I
Yep.
think that's where they're gonna go. So right now I hear some people talking about how what if they come out with a smite commander for calves, right? Well, then Attila will, but yeah, but if they came out with smite for calves, like what's the point of even balancing the game? Like it's going to be so broken, like leaning towards cavalry. So I hope they don't do it. I don't think they will if they care about the balance of the game. But again, you never know until they do it,
Yeah.
right?
There's just like one commander that they released, right? Or one skill they released to talk about smite for cavalry. I don't remember what it is, but like
Did they release one?
they haven't released a cavalry. Like there's one of the descriptions of smite damage
Yeah,
in like one of the commanders that talks about cavalry smite damage.
I thought I
I don't remember.
I thought I saw it was something with like a picture that was like an old picture of a buy bars that they someone like repurposed and used it as a leak. I'm not sure. And again, this is all just guessing. I actually don't know.
Yeah, no,
Right.
and
Okay.
we none of us know, but yeah, I'm
Yeah,
with you. So,
but like
like, what are the new commanders, right?
yeah,
What's recent that came out?
the like Cordoba and stuff.
I don't think I thought it was before that. Like, who came out right before that?
Herman came out right before Herman Ashurbanipal, or before
Uh,
the range, and then before
uh,
that it was Lucia and
uh,
Gorgo.
maybe it's Ash. Wait, I always
Yeah, I
picture
always get
him.
them confused too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that one, he's actually taking away normal damage.
Yeah,
Yeah. Right. So that's like countering infantry.
yeah. I don't remember where it is, but I thought there was a place. Like in one of these skill descriptions
Yeah.
that came out, I thought there was some discussion of, the fact that they mentioned smite and cavalry together, which made
Yeah.
people think about that.
Yeah.
But
No, maybe. Like, I mean,
uh,
that's part of the fun, right? It's like guessing and speculating. Or else, what
yeah.
will we make YouTube content about?
But
Yeah.
anyway, so we're
Yeah.
back to
Yeah. So the point is like I actually understand your concern for putting like hunter or balance on a infantry wedge, but the other way to
mhm.
look at it is let's just say another smite commander comes out. You're still going to have at least one infantry pair that runs skill damage, right? Because it could be Guan and Scipio, and then Luce with a new Smite commander. It could
Yeah,
be Gorgo and Luce, and then you're running Scipio with a new commander that's Smite. And uh, it's something,
Scipio takes advantage of it. Yep. So
yeah, like Scipio's not gonna be out of the top two with this next
yeah,
infantry release, right? Unless like something crazy happens where like the garrison or rally commander is like usable on field and is better than Scipio again. But I doubt it.
yeah,
Okay, so uh, but for this one, Striker Metallics, the reason why I think this is a priority over the other one is because, especially if you're going to re-roll the Cav stats, the Cav March speed, right? You can lock this and go for health, right? Because I think the go to the scroll again,
the scroll
the top
is
left,
sorry.
yeah,
Yeah.
right. So this one, what you're going for is defense, right?
Yep.
And then the other one, what you're going for is health. So if you
Yep.
gave like the option, which one would you rather have? Like a stab at 1.5% health increase or defense increase or more, right? You would actually rather have health.
Health.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
this is the best one you have. So you can lock two and go for the health in the third, or you can lock the defense and go for both. But I think if you're just talking about which one will give you a bigger benefit, right? Like if you hit it first, it would actually be this one, even though the other
Yeah.
armament technically is better because it has a special inscription on it.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. So
Okay, yeah, and then the other thing too is if you get a chance and they're kind of equal, you always want to prioritize the bottom right or the bottom left, so the banner or emblem over the top right or top left, just because the chances of you getting an inscription on a random like crate pull is going to be higher for the top right and top left. So the chances of you getting something with higher upside where you could ditch what you currently have, even though yours your armament's really good, but in general, uh, the chances of you getting something on the top right or top left, inscription wise, is going to be higher than the bottom left, bottom right.
yeah, that
Okay.
makes sense.
Okay.
Um,
Do you want to look at some of the other marches armaments, or you want to like go to gear or equipment?
let's look at a couple of other
Okay.
marches. Like I have a question, right?
Yeah.
So,
Sure.
I mean, my Gorgo garrison,
Yeah.
right? We garrison a lot with Gorgo Hera just for the AOE
Yeah.
side of it.
Yeah.
We may put predominantly infantry in there,
Yeah.
right? But like, what do you arch set?
Uh, Sorry, it kind of broke up. Like, would you say that last part again?
I said when I think about the set to use with it,
Yeah.
right? The armaments to put if I'm garrisoning, right?
If you're doing
With
Gorgo
Gorgo
Hera,
Hera. Yeah, yeah. And
so
it's predominantly infantry, but
yeah,
we want the AOE damage
yeah,
for the field, for the collateral damage that happens when people attack flags.
yeah.
Um, so do you like this set or do you like the Guan set?
On Gorgo Hera.
Because I can boost one of the commands. Yeah. Right. So I can do this or I can do
Okay, actually, let me open
this.
so I could compare the two.
Yeah. I mean, it's more stats for Guan.
Yeah, combo is a skill damage boost, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So that helps a little bit with Hera, right?
Was that? Yeah, it's actually really cool because when you use this active skill, so Gorgo's gonna launch a skill. Then you get an 8% bonus for the secondary, which would be Hera, right? So you actually don't really miss out on Gorgo anyways,
Yeah.
because combo actually
And
triggers
this
with the secondary.
retaliatory helps Hera because,
Yeah.
I mean, I've been using the arch,
Yeah.
but it's
I
a
mean,
question I
if
had.
you're just giving me the two, it's pretty clear that you're gonna go with the arch, just because like
Okay.
with the extra inscriptions, it's just noticeably better, right? And then
Yeah.
when you have like normal attack damage boost from the arch, it's gonna apply to both commanders, and with the wedge, it's only gonna apply to Hera, who actually has a fairly low skill damage factor. But like the
Yeah.
yeah yeah like
Not a math.
yeah, if you're giving me the choice between the two, it's pretty clear. It's Arch for you.
All right.
Let's actually okay. I don't think I looked. Let's actually take a look at the second cap. So the Hua again, and then the second Archer,
You want to look at my second archer?
second Archer, and second Cav. I don't think we actually looked
Okay.
at either. Okay,
So this is my second archer.
yeah, that's like very. That's just like very very. I wouldn't even call it solid. It's like very above average actually. But okay. Oh wow. Okay. So you have a
Right. So I have that,
okay.
right? That's that
Yeah.
one.
Okay.
This is this one.
Okay.
Devious is damage, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I've got this triple stat, and then I've
Yeah.
got a double inscription,
Yeah. That's really
right?
good. Okay. Go to the emblem real quick, and then what's the one that's locked that has an inscription that you don't have equipped on anyone? Like right next to Ramses, or between Ramses and Nevsky.
Right here.
Rapacious. Okay. Okay. That's straight up just better than the triple stat, like
You think?
by significantly. Yeah.
Okay.
Um. Yeah, because like the
There you
uh,
go.
yeah, go back. I mean, you could compare the two. Let's open it up. We'll go over why.
All right. So we were here, I think.
The epic and then the one you have on Boudica now. Yeah. Okay, so open up Rapacious again, just so it's on the screen. So Rapacious is mid. Like it's not bad. It's not like amazing, right? But it's actually very very solid. So like for something like this, uh, if you got 1.5% all damage, you're like, oh damn, that's pretty good, right? 'Cause highest you could get is 2. And I've heard like different people talk about how when you get an all damage, you just want to do simple napkin math, just multiply it by 2 and count it as
Mm-hmm.
2% as like twice as much, like 3% of stats. I don't think it necessarily works that way, but it's an easy way for people to make a quick decision on the spot. So you get 3.4% health, and then the march speed, especially
Helps.
in the current meta, I actually don't mind it as much, even though you're losing defense. And then this one, you have the chance to roll it into something in the future, obviously. But even
Yeah.
if you don't have a third stat on there, right? You're losing the cling, the hey,
Yeah.
it's complete, right? So like again, like I talked about earlier, if you just want to have a triple stat so it looks good, like that's fine. But statistically, I think I would actually take this one over the other one because you're getting a lot more health or 1.2% health, right? You lose 2.4% defense, but you get some march speed, and then Rapacious 1.5% all damage is actually very solid, and that's gonna be way that 1.5% all damage. Depending on how much troops in the technology, like that's over 3 attack. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. I'm with you.
All right, but
I
again, again, you're losing the stat here. Yeah,
Yeah, but it is what it is.
yeah,
So I'm more for end game, right, than anything
yeah,
else. So
yeah.
okay.
Okay. So I don't know if you
Or was
want
that
to. Oops. Can you hear me?
what? Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. I accidentally muted this. Yeah. So I don't know if you want to like change it and then save it because sometimes people change it and they forget to save.
All right, so hold on, let's do that.
Yeah.
You're right. Oh wait, that's on the first screen. Okay.
Okay. Cool. And then let's take a look at your Hua again. Okay. Okay. That's good. Okay. You just don't have another inscribed element. Yeah. It's always like slim pickings with emblems, right? As far as getting inscriptions on
I've
these.
got yeah, but the other one's better, right? The one that's on
Yeah, the one you're
is
equipping.
better.
Yeah, the one you have is better.
Yeah. So
And
then
then the banner.
yeah, we
Okay.
go. We've got this option, which is
Yeah.
you know, that's it. So yeah.
Yeah. So for you, you're actually, believe it or not, mostly done. Because even the ones where you have like a double stat on there, that's like a end game top level armament. You just need to get lucky on the rolls. So
Yeah.
for you, in general, I would prioritize the Nevsky first, just because that's your first cav, right? So like your arch is good. Your archer, well, your infantry arch formation is good. Your first archer is really good, and then the cav is missing like you could get a big boost from that.
Yeah.
I would prioritize the banner first, and then hunter,
Yeah.
and then I forgot what the third one was. Oh, the third one did you run out of rerolls? No, you had five left. That's the top right one, the instrument.
Yeah.
Right. So like for now, if you're getting transmutation stones, I would actually just re-roll this top right one. Well, actually no, use the top left. Take that shot
Okay.
at the hunter, and then I would actually do the top right one until you use that out. But then all three of those, if you don't have relevant stat, those are like viable candidates for a transmutation crystal to redo it, because the other two stats are like decent or like really good, and like it's either double inscription or
Yeah.
a special inscription. Like the upside of this is really really high.
Yeah.
Okay, and then
Okay.
from there, um, I wouldn't actually touch the Boudica. What you have on the Boudica? I'm not the Boudica. The it is Boudica, right? The infant Archer 2.
ZL is the main one,
Yeah,
right? I mean,
ZL's.
I do think I want to
Yeah,
reroll.
yeah.
I
So
want to. I want to reroll this one at some point.
yeah, so this one you want to re-roll, right? And
Yeah.
then the Boudica one, like that, like those are like the basically the second march of each troop type. That's something you worry about after you clean up the best
Okay.
one of each troop type. So like if you have like
Yeah.
a relevant stat with Hoa or with Boudica or Trajan, right? Like I wouldn't worry about that.
I guess could this one replace the Nevsky one?
Say that again. The Boudica?
Yeah.
What's on Nevsky?
I'm sorry,
Oh.
ZL. Sorry. I'm
Uh,
skill damage. So that's all.
I
He's
would.
all skill.
Yeah, I would not. I wouldn't replace them. I think the ZL one is actually still better than the Boudica one.
Okay.
Yeah. Now it depends though, right? Like, what's your combo for Archer again? Are you running ZL Herman?
Well, ZL Herman as an open field, right?
Okay.
Boudica Ash as a
Okay.
second,
Okay.
but it's mainly it's
Yeah. So I mean, if
the
you're
rally side of it, right? So I
yeah
do a lot.
yeah okay. So for rally, what are you doing for what's your pair for rally?
It kind of depends, right? I mean, if you want damage it's Ash ZL.
Yeah.
If you need anti-swarm, it's Henry Ash.
Yeah.
It
Okay.
just kind of depends upon the situation.
Okay.
So,
So
but that one with three specials hits hard. So
yeah. So I would just I would just say for the and what's the go to the ZL one again? What's the one? What's the emblem for that? Okay. So if
or this one,
if it was me, no, that one you just keep on your best archer march. If it was me, if you're running ZL Herman, right? So ZL has
yeah,
no march speed. Herman has march speed. Uh,
yeah,
I actually would switch the emblem onto here, just because you get a little bit of extra march speed. Right, 2%. I mean, it's
okay,
2%, but
all right,
right. Whereas like people are like, oh well, Asher Benepal's his march speed only triggers when it's off Alliance territory. When you're on Alliance territory, you get 32% extra march speed. Like you don't need it.
yep,
You literally don't need it. Right?
yep,
It's not like it. You could have no march speed, and that march will be faster than most marches that you'll run into. That is not in your alliance. So, like the what I'm saying is the march suit would actually benefit ZL Herman more
yeah.
than
I guess one question on that is like if I finish the boots, right,
yeah
taking them to level 5,
yeah
would you think about it the same way still, or because you
yeah
get
because you get 5% normal and then 5% off alliance territory.
6.5, and
Oh, okay,
then
never mind. You have special talent. Okay.
another 6.5, right?
Yeah, okay. Okay, so you could get 13, and then you get
Yeah.
15 from Herman, right? So that's like 28. The benchmark I like to use is Guan Scipio, which I think you
Okay.
get 40, and then, well, 40 when it's off Alliance territory. And then with the Eternal Empire set, that's another 10%, right? You get 50. And then the base march speed of infantry is 5% or 5 points less than archer. I actually was going to make a video, got distracted, never finished it. But I think when I did the math, uh, ZL Herman with a flag, a 6.5% flag,
Yeah.
and then running T4, which gives you actually an extra 5% or 5 points of march speed, would match the Guan Scipio with the Eternal Empire set I talked about.
Mm-hmm.
And like that to me is like kind of like the lowest I enjoy using before it just feels like it's too slow. And I think a
Yeah.
lot of it comes down to like a personal preference. Like for you, you have special talented ring and horn. You wouldn't take that off, right? So you have to think
Yeah.
about like other. You're not going to run a flag, so you have to think about other ways to get march speed. That
Yeah.
the level 5 definitely helps. You know, if you get that at level 5, if you use it and it feels good, then keep it because the march speed is just more if you feel like the march is a little slow.
No, but it's a
Yeah,
good point. I mean,
yeah,
it's I try out switching out that one armament, right? That I could switch out this one armament and get more march speed, right? So
yeah,
it's a good point.
yeah, yeah. Because like
And it's not like losing out on special, right?
yeah, because
So
it's not like a special inscription, so you're not really losing that much, and you can actually make an argument that uh, this one you can make an argument that this one is maybe slightly worse, but more suitable for a slower march. You know, it's close. Like it's not like a definitive one. Where I'm like go this way or go that way. It's more like your preference. I know for me personally, like I don't have level 5 on my boots, and like my best archer march, I actually am running with a archer flag because
yeah,
I like a archer flag just because that makes a huge difference for me personally. Okay,
yeah,
but this is like Michael. Like honestly, if you went one way or the other, I'm like, what the hell are you doing? It's really just like what you prefer. It wouldn't be a wrong answer. I'll put it that way.
yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah,
So one question for you, right?
yeah,
So I'm thinking about like the next Altark I
hmm
get.
yeah.
I'm thinking about buying destructive.
Okay.
for this, right?
Yeah.
Now the question is do I replace it here or do I go to, would you put it here?
So
Say this is better than destructive.
So if I remember correctly, destructive is you take 5% less. No, no, you do 5% more normal damage. Is that what it was?
Yeah, so it's
And
kind of
then
like
and then it triggers off of something, right?
3.5% boost to normal damage dealt. It has a 10% chance to spend 100 rage and increase
Yeah.
damage
Are you
attack by 7.
are you are you doing any like rally or garrison? Or you just said you were garrisoning with Gorgo.
Gorgo. Oh, yeah.
So I
I mean,
okay.
I guess if we get another infantry commander, I
Yeah.
don't know if I'd
Yeah,
screw this up, you know,
here wait,
but I've got,
yeah, here's why I'm hesitating because I don't rally or garrison, so like I don't
yeah.
have that mindset. Like putting your best gear on a march and just sitting like a flag waiting to be attacked is like that's like that's a real hero right there, right? It's like man, like you could get so much more like kills and have so much more fun, in my opinion. But
Yeah, no,
yeah,
I
yeah,
don't do it because I want to. I do
no, no,
it because
I agree. That's what I'm saying. Like
I
it's
have the best. I have the best
yeah, like
sets, you know.
people
So
like take that for granted, and they don't even realize like whatever the KP of a garrison player, especially, it could be significantly higher if they could just open field and not worry about that crap. So
yeah,
I'm just a field grunt, especially in the new kingdom I'm in. If it was me for open fielding, I actually would not put destructive on the second arch scroll, just because you already have a really good double inscription arch scroll, right? Whereas
yeah,
like if you look at say the Guan, right, that banner at the bottom right, like if you put a balance on there, uh, that would be like a really great place to put it. Now the concern you brought up earlier is valid. Like what if infantry just moves away from skill damage altogether?
yeah,
Maybe, but it won't happen in the next year, right? Because even if the
yeah.
next cycle comes out, like skill damage will still be relevant. I think there is still value to have a infantry wedge set, just because if you right now if you invest in wedge, right, you could get anything. It could go on archers, it could go on cav, it could go on infantry. It's very very versatile. So like don't like literally besides some of the inscriptions, like the only difference between infantry, well, wedge and arch is normal damage versus skill damage boost, right? So
Right.
for if you're talking about rally or garrison where you just want to get that like little extra boost, like I theoretically get it. It's just like from an open field mindset to put like a special inscription on something where you already have something that's comparable with a double inscription on it. I feel like you don't get as big of a boost there, right? Because even if you put the hunter on that scroll with the wedge, that would be a huge boost.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and the hunter,
yeah,
it would either be the hunter or destructive because that's what you can buy in the Altark shop.
yeah.
The balance comes from the merchant,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, that's what.
So
Yeah, that's yeah, yeah. So
that'll be a little bit.
if you get it, it was me. I mean, again, this is like I'm way biased towards open field. If it was me, I would just put it on the wedge because like that
Mhm.
set is actually already really good with no inscription, right? And like
Right.
the ones where you don't have inscriptions on it, it's actually crazy how good the stats are because that means you didn't even re-roll it. You just got it just came out of the box like that. You got really really lucky, and
Yeah. That makes
and
sense.
yeah, so like if you're just talking about open fielding where you could get the biggest boost, even with the concerns for like infantry going towards smite, I would actually still put it on there because that's at least a year away. Just because like at the very least, you could feel Guan Scipio. I don't see a smite commander, a smite infantry commander that also silences targets coming out. That would be disgusting. That would actually be really awesome. I just that would be ridiculous if that came out. And
Yeah.
I think one, this is reading into the psychology a little bit too. I do think Guan's eventually going to get a museum, and he's a very,
Yes.
very beloved figure in the Chinese culture. Right, he's literally like this hero, and Lilith is the Chinese company. I think I you know I think there's like a probably like a sentimental or soft spot for Guan and make him relevant for like a while.
Yeah. Do you
So
mind for we look at Quan?
yeah, let's take a look at him.
All right. So this is what I got, right?
Yeah.
My options are this
Okay.
onslaught's normal damage, right?
Yeah.
This is what I was running, and then I ultimately
I would
decided to
actually
switch to
I would
this.
actually take
This
the onslaught over
okay.
over the no
So that's
inscription.
been a question I had,
Yeah, that's
right?
better.
So
Yeah.
all right, so we'll replace that, right?
Yeah.
This is the way I had it before, right?
Yeah.
Um, and then I have this option,
Mm-hmm.
which is a really good armament, right? I
Yeah.
have this option
Yeah.
potentially as an upside, and then I had this option, which was the double inscription.
Yeah. What was the Iron Wall
Let me
again?
less normal damage.
Okay, that's actually
No, which one? This one? You
the
like
the
this?
the,
I mean,
the
I can't
double
make
inscription.
reroll.
Yeah, go to phalanx again, whatever it's called. It's because you get a
30.
shield which synergizes with Guan. Um,
I mean, I'm thinking at some point I may try and re-roll it. It's obviously
I would straight up just take that over the onslaught right now. Because if you think about it, right, like so, uh, go to phalanx again. Let me just read the description because I've only thought about it in the context of using it with Constantine. Okay, so whenever you use an active skill, okay, so it can't just be like a instant proc.
that's like once every 8 turns or so.
30%. 30% would be higher
Chance
than
every
that.
8 turns.
Yeah, so here we can put it here right now. So if it's 30%.
1 in 3 times, right? Every time.
Yeah, so if you did it,
Second counts, right?
yeah, so obviously every turn there's a 30% chance of triggering it. Every 2 turns you have a 51% chance of triggering it. Every 3 turns it's 65.7% chance. And I
Okay.
mean, people put like a lucky coin on there, right? And when you do it, you get 15% boost in skill damage, plus the Iron Wall, 1.5% less normal damage. I would actually. Yeah, I would actually put this on the Guan, and then if you are going to get another altar, just put it go with destructive. Because like if the argument before was whether you pick a altarch and put it on a arch where you already have a double
Wait, I
inscription.
have a reset. No, I don't have any of those, right?
No, no,
That's
no,
what
no.
that
Yeah,
says.
I think I'll get it during KVK. But yeah, but the amount of upside your armaments, like it's already really good overall, and the amount of upside you have just like sitting like in the inventory is actually crazy.
Yeah.
Because like on the like my armaments on the like what I'm equipping like as a whole is about the same as yours, maybe slightly better, but the stuff you have in your bag is way better than mine. Like so if you had say like 100 transmutation stones right now, and you could reset some of the stuff that you just got unlucky with. Yours would end up being way better, and I don't have the same upside as you.
Yeah.
So yeah, I
I
would
don't
keep
like
the.
these
I know.
5% stat. whatever.
I
So
know,
it is what
it's
it is.
frustrating. But that's something where because if you think about, we can actually do the. I mean, we could actually like come up with like a number, but being able to trigger your skill damage boost, which both Guan and Scipio will benefit off of. What are you running for your infantry, by the way?
I run Guan, Scipio, and then sometimes Gorgo, Lu, sometimes Lu, Alex, and
Yeah.
then
Okay.
the third one's kind of just like
Okay.
Greek and Sargon. I don't love that march,
Okay.
but my sets are. If I'm going to run 7 marches at the moment, I need to run a third infantry.
Yeah.
I built my second archer set before the last KVK,
Yeah.
and it's coming along. And then I got to decide, like, do I go all in on the third infantry, or do I want to go cavalry or third archer? I don't
Yeah.
know, right? The seventh march gets
Yeah. Now I get
squishy no
it.
matter.
Yeah. It's I actually think right now, well, definitely after the next Cav comes out. But like right now, honestly, the 7th March probably should be XY Justinian.
Yeah,
Like I don't know, Trajan, yeah, I don't know. But if you had
yeah.
to
I was running
have,
Trajan KVK before, but I
yeah.
didn't run them this time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, but phalanx, especially for like the meta pairs, like top 1, 2 pairs, it literally only goes with Guan right now, right? Like I'm a big Canyon junkie, so I was trying to figure out how to like I have a triple stat archer phalanx. That I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna bite the bullet and re-roll it into infantry, just because I want to put it on my Constantine. But
yeah.
now with this, Scipio triggers a shield, you get a skill damage boost. You launch an active skill, you get a skill damage boost. I actually think this would work out a lot better.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, and this is where, look, I think I know a lot about the game.
yeah,
There's a lot to learn, right? And this is the kind of concept why we're talking. So,
yeah. There's just so many moving parts of this game when you start getting into it, right? Because like even like the video I made today. So for the longest time, I mean, the whole time I've been playing, it's health, defense, attack. That's a priority, right? But as you start looking into it, all these like normal damage boosts, skill damage boosts, they're a boost off of the total damage that you're outputting, right? So
yeah,
there's nothing that actually boosts off of health or defense. So that number,
yeah,
whatever you get, is that's it. You get some damage mitigation or like percentage mitigation from the damage you're taking, but there's nothing that's actually boosting stuff off of health or defense. Whereas, what if you get, for example, a 60% skill damage boost for the secondary for Nevsky, right? That essentially scales off of your attack. So this whole idea where health is way better than attack, I'm not so sure. I just never thought about it in that way. Where like when you factor in all the boosts to damage, attack might not be as like crappy as we make it out to be, right? But I have to think about that more, let it percolate. I don't even know if I can really test it. So right now it's just like a theory that I'm just talking about, but I'm not even super confident in.
yeah.
Okay.
So, all
Uh,
right. Well, what else you want to cover? Or, I
uh,
guess one question, I don't know if it's you, but one question I have is like, as a Garrison player, if I'm
yeah,
going to stay where I am, I need to be the best Garrison I can.
yeah,
Should I start, or like, based upon, you've seen my armaments, right? You've
yeah,
seen the wedge, you've
yeah.
seen
I
the
see your
arch.
equipment. Yeah,
If I continue to invest in armaments, right, which is kind of like the lottery to some degree, right? Should
yeah.
I be opening hollow square? Should I be opening wedge? Should I be opening arch? How would you think about that if it was your account?
If you were going to be Garrison,
Yeah, I mean, well, if I'm going to open field, garrison, rally, right? And you've kind of looked at my armaments
yeah,
as they stand with wedge and arch, right?
yeah.
I mean, do you think, would you continue to invest in wedge and arch, or would you switch to maybe hollow square and try and boost my garrison ability? Does that make sense? The
Yeah,
question.
yeah. And then, do you have a specific troop type, or is your kingdom expecting you to be able to garrison
I,
using all the different troop types?
I garrison right now cavalry and infantry. I mean, I haven't
Okay.
tested. I could max Dido, but
Yeah,
she's
I
kind of
think
falling out
I
of
think
us,
she's
so
already
I'm not.
fallen off. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna just start talking to kind of sort through my thought process.
And if you run out of time, let me know. I know we're probably
No, it's fine.
so.
It's fine. I mean, I like talking about stuff like this, anyways. So if you if you look at Garrison and Rally players from 3 years ago, right? The threshold to do it was a lot lower. I think I don't even know when exactly equipment was introduced, but like to actually get your equipment to the top, it was a lot easier, right? Like they don't, at least they don't have the iconic system or the awaken system now. Also, uh, there wasn't crystal tech up until a certain point, so you didn't have to worry about that. So basically, even like free to play or low spenders, if they play long enough and it built up, could be real rallying garrison leaders. As there's more and more ways to improve, aka spend, to be able to really be top of the line in garrison or rally, it requires a higher and higher level of spend. And if you're a whale, you could do one. I don't think you could do both, just because they're like, especially like what seed is your kingdom?
We're high A,
Okay,
low Imperial.
okay, so yeah, so you're gonna what is it, 1235?
No, 3035.
3035. Oh, okay, you're like a newer.
Yeah, we're like a brand new kingdom, but we came out as we were Imperium from the get go.
Okay, are you
We
on?
were
So what KVK?
going to downsize to an A because
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
five we just finished, or we're
yeah.
just finishing. We This is our first boss this time.
Okay, you're KVK 4, KVK 5.
We just finished. We're finishing KVK 5.
Okay, so you're like
This was our
you're
first boss.
finally like outside playing against your continent. You're playing against everyone else now.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay, okay. So let's just say your kingdom stays like a mid A. Or occasionally you're gonna run into like some of the lower level Imperiums,
yeah,
or you'll get grouped into one of those where you're finding a super kingdom. There's like four of you guys in a camp, and
yep.
and you have to deal with that, right? So if you're playing that, you're gonna notice it's like it's crazy. Like when wait, oops, yeah, it's crazy when you go against some of these like krakens. Like you just like a whole different level of like spend. Just like what the hell is going on? Like where everything's like top level. So at your spend level, I think you could do one. You have to pick, and I get there's what the kingdom needs, but you also have to like enjoy it and buy into it, or else it doesn't really work well. Because in real life, I realize this. Like I own a business, right, and there's stuff that I don't like to do, and so I just like I've always just tend to want to do them because I felt like passing off something I don't like to do to someone else is not what a good leader should do. Right. And it took a
Yeah,
few years to realize, wait a minute, just because I don't do it like it doesn't mean someone else doesn't enjoy it. If they really enjoy it, it's almost like the stuff that I like to do, they don't enjoy. So everyone actually has stuff they enjoy. And if you don't like garrisoning, I'm not saying you don't, there's probably someone else that really buys into it. Like personally, like I think you could tell by the way I talk, I would, that's like the last thing I would want to do, right? Like I would rather rally than garrison, but there's people that actually really like garrisoning and sitting there and like just like building the ultimate defense, opening up Tetsudo or Hollow Square or whatever. So if you had a choice, what would you rather do, rally or garrison?
um, I think probably rally. I mean, I think I'm closer there anyway, right?
Yeah,
Based upon Fuge. I mean,
yeah,
the equipment's almost done, right? I mean, I just
yeah,
need.
yeah,
I mean, I got one upgrade each year,
yeah,
right? And then I got to take. I mean, I
yeah,
don't even need the boots, right, for rallying. I
yeah,
don't
yeah,
definitely so.
yeah,
I
and
mean, I'm
then
kind of like, and then I've got an I don't know. I haven't ever run across a set that's better than this. I'm sure it
yeah,
exists.
I was yeah. Even at the Imperium level, it's not going to get much better because if it's just max tech and you're comparing armaments and equipment. It doesn't. I mean, it can't even get much better if it wanted to, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah. So like
So
I would say if you're rallying, obviously it's just wedge. Now if you're garrisoning, there's also all these mind games you have to play. One, you have to pick the specific troop type. Right
yeah,
now, there's people in my kingdom. They're opening Tetsudo in circle, and there's not even an obvious path for that yet. Right? They're just kind of projecting into what they think is going to happen. So
yeah.
they're not even opening Hollow Square now. That, as far as I know, like some of the garrison players that I hear, like I see opening stuff. Like I don't claim to really be in the know because one, that's
I
not my
think
thing.
War Daddy Chasky,
Yeah.
who was a I think he's all in on Arch.
Uh,
I
is he?
think.
I think yeah. I think if I remember correctly, Peace went Hollow Square early, and then Chatsky went Arch pretty early, right?
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah, I don't know.
yeah. But like I will say for this, if you are gonna go Garrison, just pick one. And I think if you are just gonna pick one, Arch would be the way to go. Right, just because it's going to apply. It's going to apply. It's going to be have some like open world. I mean, open field application, potentially in the
Yeah.
future, and also it's going to apply. So like it's not one of those where if you go really specific into like Tetsudo or something, like you just for garrison, you're literally investing so much resources and sacrificing so much.
Yeah.
So like if you
I mean,
work,
they
go ahead.
have open field applications, right? I don't know what Tetsudo and Circle yet, so I wouldn't be comfortable with that.
Wait, what you
Just
said? Arch will have open field application.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Whereas the Circle and the Tetsudo, I just don't understand it yet. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah, and honestly, I think I forgot if I mentioned it earlier. With where your armaments are at and how much you have, like in the inventory for wedge, you can actually switch to. You could actually primarily focus on arch if you want,
Hmm.
right? Because like you have enough high upside projects that you could actually work on in wedge. That even if you get nothing else for wedge, a lot of it's just getting transmutation crystals and then re-rolling it until you get it there. And maybe
Yeah,
there's like I think the emblem was the weakest as far as I could remember, as far as what you have. Right. So the bottom left, you don't have a lot of stuff with
yeah,
inscriptions there. Right. So there's some like improvements you can do there. But for the most part, like it's it's in a really good place. It's pretty much done.
yeah.
Right. So like
Okay.
yeah. So like if you want to go arch, most people I would say no, because their armaments just aren't good enough. But your armaments, like you literally can't do anything else. You just need to re-roll it. But like it's double inscription with too high stats. Like what else do you want from it?
Yeah, that's fair. What do you think about the greatest glory versus the reign for Arch? Or do you have a view?
Um, Open the greatest glory game. It's 5% normal, 5% normal damage, right, or something like that.
Hold on. Um, greatest glory. Wait, that's awakened. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah,
So greatest glory, right?
yeah.
Where is the description?
5%
Five
normal. Yeah,
normal damage, right?
yeah. Okay, so
I mean, I've seen like the YouTube streamers like Chiskel's all in on greatest glory.
yeah,
I've seen a lot of other comments that say it's great. There's one guy that's Taiwanese or
mm-hmm,
Korean, Aquila,
yeah,
who talks about like at least for Gorgo Luce that you should run a ring instead of
yeah. And then go
greatest glory
and
because the ring has. Look at what?
and then just go to ring again. So So I talked earlier about the percentage, right? So 10% chance to gain a 50% bonus of damage for 2 seconds. So if within 10 seconds, if you
Yeah.
trigger it, 2 of the 10 seconds, you're going to be doing 50% more damage, right? And
Okay.
then you have a 65% chance to trigger it in 10 turns. So I think the debate here is, would you rather have a lot more burst or more consistency in damage? Now, normal damage with smite scales to smite damage, right? But as far as like when I was researching it, I don't think it actually boosts your counterattack damage. So when you get a normal
Okay.
damage boost, right, because if you look at the report when you have a turn, you'll launch a basic attack, they'll do counter damage. They launch a basic attack, you do counter damage, and then that aggregate number is actually what you see as a white damage. I think when you get a normal damage boost, only the first part of that, when you launch a basic attack, you'll get a boost. And then when you skill damage, well, when you do a smite damage, it's going to scale off of that. All right. Whereas, like, I think the ring, if you get a 50% damage boost, right, to damage dealt,
Yeah.
it's going to be counterattack, normal attack, and smite
Everything.
damage or skill damage, right? And it's for 2 seconds, so it's not just the next turn. It's for 2 seconds. So I have to like I'll have to sit down and run through it more. But I just tell you, my first instinct is actually to still go with the ring.
That's fair. It's just something I've been debating, right? So
Right, because like if you're talking about something that essentially when it triggers you get 10 times as much damage, right?
yeah.
I don't know. I think I prefer. And you're talking about for what am I talking about? Garrison specifically, or just like everything?
I mean, obviously Luce is around to stay, right? So
Yeah,
that's a
yeah,
smite command.
yeah.
If they go more into it, right? Do I, like, look, I have like 6 rings and 6 horns, right?
Okay, you already have a crit
You
ring,
want,
right?
yeah, I have a crit.
Okay.
I have a crit ring for archer and cavalry.
Yeah, yeah.
My infantry ring is at like 50%.
Okay.
And so the question is do I upgrade my archer ring for the benefits for the rally and whatever, or do I try and crit the infantry ring, or do I just go and craft the greatest glory? I don't know. I just like that whole conundrum of like,
Yeah,
where's the best use of these crazy amounts of materials
yeah.
and patterns, right?
If you have 6 rings already,
Yeah. I mean, yeah. So I have, yep, I have 6 and 6 horns and a dagger.
greatest glory,
I
you can
have
actually get from a crate. That's not. You don't have to get it from the KVK.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's
yeah.
easier, right? But this one's like
Mm,
50%, right? So part of me says
yeah,
maybe I just go like my next KVK, right? I buy the pattern and
yeah,
I hope for a crit,
yeah.
This whole new equipment system is just mind-boggling.
Let's see, 5%. So in 10 turns, you do 5 more% damage, just because it's an aggregate. If it triggers once in 10 turns, 2 of it you'll be doing 50 more%. So 5 times 8. 80, percent, 140. Yeah, I think the ring. I think the rings are way better actually. Now I think about it.
All right.
Yeah. I mean,
That's something I'm going to continue.
it relies on some RNG, but I think it'll actually benefit more than the greatest glory more often than it doesn't. You know.
Yeah. No, that's kind of like there's two schools of thought that I've been seeing, right? I just don't understand it enough. But
Yeah, because like if
I will hold on to my patterns for now, and
yeah, because if you just I mean because one is pretty straightforward, right? Okay, you're gonna do 5% more damage. Okay, and like never mind the counterattack thing. Okay, just you do 5% more damage. Uh,
yeah,
if you trigger a ring, if you do 50% extra damage and only lasts for 1 second, and you count like 10 turns as 10 seconds, that's like that literally mathematically averages out to 5%. Now it actually triggers for 2 seconds.
last, yeah.
You know what I mean? So like if you just base that, and then you could calculate a DPS number based on that. Like I think it's pretty clear. Like just if you're just talking about DPS, the ring's going to do more.
But I guess the question, the nuanced question, which I don't know even how to do the math,
Yeah.
right, is that if you're boosting your damage, I guess your ring will boost it irrespective of the Luce damage. I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah, because it's just
Right.
it's a 50% all damage boost for two
Okay. So
seconds.
yeah. So based upon that, right, you're getting two. You're averaging to five, but you're getting it for 2 turns. So you're by definition getting more than
Yeah,
just a
because
flat bar.
like let's just like because even if you pretend okay, let's just say there's no active skill involved, right? So a damage like a damage factor like the white damage will come out to about 400. So if you times that by 10, that's 4,000, right? And then plus 5%, that's 440. That's
800.
800.
200. It's you
40
said 4,000 times what percent? 5%?
times 5%.
Yeah, that'd be 200.
Yeah, 200. So 4,200, right?
Yeah.
Whereas like let's just say you have 10 turns, 4,000, but two of the turns you're boosting it by 50%. So instead of 400, it actually goes up to 600, right? So you
Yeah.
actually in 10 turns you actually would do 4,400.
Yeah. Yeah. I hear
Now,
you.
but the problem with that is in 10 turns you'll trigger it 65% of the time, right? So in 20 turns, let's do right here. 10, 90.
And there's a chance you do it more than once in 10 turns.
Yeah, you could actually technically do it every 5 seconds. Yeah, which is crazy. So 90. Wait, hold on. Yeah, so in 20 turns, there's like a 87 point, well, about an 88% chance of it triggering.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So, um, actually, no, I was wrong. So, if you're doing in 20 turns, if you have 88% chance of it triggering, if it doesn't trigger in 20 turns, the greatest glory is going to do more damage.
Right, but in
Yeah.
theory, right, you should get it once at a minimum once every turn, right?
Well, no, that's the
No.
thing. No, because if you have a 10% chance of triggering something, if you have 20 shots at it, there's an 88% chance that you'll get it
Okay.
once, at least once in 20 turns. But that's actually wait, that's if it occurs at least once.
Well,
Yeah.
what's the chance of it doing twice?
Yeah. Let's see. I don't think this actually has the option of doing that, but at least once means it could actually trigger more than once. No, I would definitely. Yeah, I would still take the ring over it.
Okay.
Yeah. It's close though. It's not as like definitive as I thought, but I would take the ring over it.
All right. What else do you want to cover, or what else have we not covered? I know I've taken a lot of your time.
No, it's fine. It's up to you if you have any other like questions or stuff you want to discuss. But yeah.
I don't know. It's a lot to think about. All right.
Yeah, I would say. Well, let's just kind of put a bow on this. We'll go over. So the armaments right now, you can start opening arch if you want, just because like you have stuff beyond open fielding that you want to worry about. The cav, you have 3 things that you could potentially reroll. Right, the top 2, one has 5 chances left, one has 1. Hopefully, you just hit it, then you don't have to worry about it. If you get a transmutation crystal right now, reroll the banner. because you
Yeah.
could potentially get health from that, right? And
Yeah.
I'll let you decide whether you want to keep the cab march speed because it's 3.2. It's actually really high, or not.
Yeah.
Okay, and then and then from there it would actually be the scroll with a hunter, and then it would be the instrument on the top right, right? So you could potentially get health first for the banner, then defense for the scroll, and then the attack from the instrument in the top right. And then
Yeah.
let's just say you get all three of those, right? You go 3 for 3, you get lucky. Then you want to start cleaning up all the irrelevant stats, starting with the double inscriptions first. So I think there was one. I don't remember. It was like I don't remember which one it was,
Yeah.
like if you
I know.
have,
I know what you're talking about though. Yeah.
okay, right. So you want to get the double inscription, even if it is your second march, right? So let's just say you have a double inscription on a second march. The reason why you want to go for that one is because if you hit it, it will probably become your best armament, and then the one that's actually on your best march will go back into being the second march.
Yeah.
That makes sense. So like the double inscription is for the most part going to have the higher upside. You actually want to prioritize that. Even if it's on your second march, because if you hit it, boom, that becomes your best armament, and then the one that's your best set now actually goes on the second set, and that's the best way to do it. Ideally, you're doing that only when everything is in a very high place, you have nothing else to really work on. Then you want to go actively work on a second march inscription that's not a double.
Yeah.
Okay, and then
Okay.
and for you now, like be very diligent with recycling armaments. Like make a decision on the spot. The really only real big mistake you can make is not deciding and just leaving it there. So it should be like one in, one out. If you keep something, you should be removing something for the most part, unless you get something where like, oh, for this armament you get a sentry, right, where you get like more damage when you're swarming something. That's like a special case,
Yeah.
right? But if
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
something where like, oh, this is a triple stat infantry, okay, you already have one saved up. Which one would you rather work on in the future? If you could get an inscription on it, the one that you don't choose, recycle it. It hurts, but realistically, it's there just to confuse you. You're not going to use it.
Yeah. Okay. Makes sense.
Okay.
All right. Well, I appreciate your help.
Yeah, man.
It's been very informative.
And then also keep 2268 in mind if you ever decide to move on. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
actually, I've talked to those guys before, right?
Oh, really?
So
Yeah,
they
yeah.
they actually offered
Mm.
me spots. So, but
Yeah, we
I was I'm still committed to my current
yeah.
kingdom,
No, I
and
get it.
I would
No, you
those
should.
and
Like there's something special about like growing up with a native kingdom and staying there. I actually would have really liked to just if my native kingdom just kept growing and got stronger. I don't know. I'm a pretty loyal guy. I would have rather stayed there. You know, like I prefer not migrating around and all that stuff either. So I get it.
yeah.
Um,
Well, I haven't ever
yeah,
migrated, so it's tough, right?
yeah,
But
yeah.
I would say that in the short list of kingdoms that I would think
Yeah.
about, I think of
There you go.
2268.
Perfect. Yeah, man.
So
Subtle plug at the end, but yeah. Like I was my first migration. I was after KVK
hey,
6. Um,
yeah,
it is a dangerous time for like a strong. Like we were Imperium, all three KVKs, right? The first three, the our
yeah,
kingdom, and then even KVK 4, we were the strongest kingdom. We just uh, we were so much stronger that we got paired with weak allies, and we got overwhelmed by numbers. And then
yeah,
KVK 5, we actually did really well. That's the first time playing, like playing against people not in our continent. And then
yeah,
KVK 6, the kingdom just fell apart. So like
yeah,
that time, like the KVK 5 and 6, what I noticed is a lot of kingdoms like around that us, like that in our continent, or like right before or right after us, a lot of them seem to all have like problems sprout up then, just because that's when it's dangerous. Like you could lose people to somewhere else. Like you're the big dog, and then you start playing against everyone, and people aren't used to that. They leave. So yeah, that's what happened to us.
yeah. No, we had we were Imperium from day one.
Yeah.
We rolled through. KVK one was a good fight. I
Hmm.
mean, it was a good fight because the counterpart had a bunch more T5 players than we did.
Yeah.
But 2, 3, and 4 were over in like a day.
Yeah.
So, we were just too strong. And then, we decided that, we couldn't be Imperium in stock. So we went from like 4 alliances to 2, which created a
Yeah.
lot of turmoil.
Yeah. Yeah.
We lost a lot of good players. And then, now it's like, look, the reality is, we have a bunch of great players, but there are a bunch of native accounts, right? And you
Yeah. Yeah.
just, when you're rolling into a high A, right, low
Yeah.
Imperium, you just can't hold up, right? So
Yeah.
35 is getting revised again. They're going to go to a single alliance model and see where it ends.
Yeah, I think
So,
you guys would do well. Especially like the players. Like, so for me, right? Like, I finally just expertise all my commanders in my top 6 marches.
yeah,
Maybe like 2-3 weeks ago. So that's like a month and a half after KVK 6 was over, right? But
yeah,
that shock when you first get to KVK 4 as a native, you're just like, holy crap. At the time for us, it was KVK 4 because we couldn't even like. That was when you get SOC commanders, and I was like, what is
yeah,
everyone who like I was just destroying and see even canyon in my kingdom before. Once they got to the SOC commanders, I'm like, I can't do anything, right? KVK 4 was a big struggle, and then it took like about one KVK to, for the most part, catch up, and then yeah. So if you guys make it through this next KVK or two, and then keep growing, then it becomes a lot easier.
yeah. Well,
Yeah,
time will tell, right? But so
yeah. All right,
it's
man.
a bunch of friends and people I've played with
Yeah,
for
yeah,
KVK 1, right? It's just
yeah,
tough.
yeah. No, I get it. Yeah, yeah. Like if you could stay in your native kingdom, you have friends there, you should definitely do that. It's there's something special about growing with a kingdom. But if
Yeah,
it doesn't work out, consider
yeah,
2268.
yeah. No,
Yeah.
it definitely would be on the short
Yeah, yeah,
list.
yeah.
So
Okay, cool, awesome. Yeah, I'm gonna post this on my second channel, the mentoring channel. So look for it.
okay,
All right, but yeah, thanks a
yeah.
lot. And then you have
Thank you.
you could reach out in game if you have any questions, wanted to just talk about anything.
Yeah, no, I certainly appreciate it, man.
All right, man. All right, have a good day.
All right, you too. Bye.